I don't know what I need, but I don't see me being too much help to you.
Gunners are searching for airborne and surface targets.
As a boat. Well...
Imagine the Italian lineup without the Freccia. I mean, I guess you could use the Saeta. It's almost as good and better in certain ways.
We have somebody on our team who is properly staying on brand. We have USS Helena in the USS Helena.
See, I was imagining... Oh, you're probably recording this. Never mind. Not trash talk YouTubers on YouTube. But if you talk about certain person staying on brand, you can imagine what I thought you'd seen.
I haven't... Oh, as in seeing a YouTuber.
Someone's nuking the A point, so that must mean someone's around here. There he is. Why is there so many LS3s around these days? They're everywhere.
Because people are just spawning them, cap rushing, and then using their Eugen. Or a battleship. Well, we have our Mikuma from that really good game we had on the encounter earlier. On our team again. So, that's nice. Oh, lovely. We have Violet Evergarden in Dakota. And... oh boy. Well... this sucks. So... do you know why that guy was in an LS3?
Why?
Because his two squad mates are battleships.
I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah, but... no es bueno. Oh, never mind. Did I say North Dakota? That's a Wyoming. Not much difference, except, you know, 120% the guns.
See, LS3 come back in a battleship now.
I don't know.
Or maybe a cruiser. That would make sense. For AA fire.
Yeah.
I'll try to go to B because what else am I going to do? Just hang around here. Like if I had the old DMs, I could actually hit stuff, but not usually cruisers. But what's this? Something in the air.
There's an Eugen there.
No.
Oh,
So,
contact.
hi, Navy.
Yeah.
Does the I stand for something?
International, I think.
That would make sense, I guess. Who capped B?
This boat in the smoke that's on Charlie now.
Also, how unbalanced is the B cap on this map?
I'm... oh, there's
Oh,
torpedoes
shit,
in front of me.
shit.
That's great.
Shit. There's a guy near A. I have to go back and cap it. I might not make it. There's a lot of fire coming in.
Attack the A point!
Well, that's my boat done.
I'm beginning to think it might be worth having you in a battleship.
Yeah, but I'm not trying to level a battleship.
Hmm.
Literally got like, what, like 4 hours or something to just get enough on this to make it usable.
The enemy's getting closer to victory.
You heading into B? I'll follow you into B.
That was the idea, yeah. That G5 is still just, or PR123 or whatever it is just stubbornly existing. That's a Belfast I'm shooting at. And doing nothing too.
Oh, he's heading back.
Yeah, sorry, I just put an 8-inch AP shell through one of Belfast's turrets and it did 0 damage to it.
Didn't even kill the turret?
Nope, it just went straight through it.
The enemy ship sank.
Oh, good.
There's torps all over there.
Yeah,
They're sort of fanning into
towards
your
me, yeah.
side. If you go full speed, you might get.
I am
out.
going full speed. Also,
Oh.
battleship.
Try to distract him a bit.
Also, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, someone's on A. Oh, they killed him at least. Good, good.
Okay, I'm gonna turn.
If you can cap B.
I'm not going to cap B because if I try and cap B, I'm going to eat this torpedo, and I'm going to eat it anyway because I turned too late. Yay!
There's the Hugo. Might be alright, but oh, it was a lance.
Yeah, to my belt in the engineering section, so naturally my magazine exploded. Because, guys, you don't get the nuance that is how torpedoes function.
Airborne and surface
Does
targets.
Baltimore have a bulge or an internal torpedo protection? I can't say I remember.
The frick? Sorry, I just spawn and I'm getting torpedo sirens, because there's another pair of lances.
I think those were the ones that you dodged.
No, those were ones the ones I dodged a long time ago, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and there's another battleship. So that's at least 3 versus our 0.
Oh, if only I'd have kept the A point, this would have been a bit easier.
The enemy is winning. We must counterattack.
God, this cap is so small. I have to be careful not to overshoot it.
Mm.
I'll just round this island. I'll do it. Should I go for C or A? C will be suicide. Chafayev? Take out his turrets from the front. That's good to know.
Well, I just had a substantial amount of my forward machinery taken out by a shell from a Hugo.
Sniping the turrets off a Chapayev, because that's what you do. I'll put some in his engine block.
Well, the forward half of my ship is now Schrodinger's hull.
I've got a problem of a thing rushing me that's tiny.
That's fine. I'm dealing with 14-inch sap broadsides coming into my innards. Oh, who have we acquired? We acquired 2 people. Oh, good. Max is back, and Opti's in here.
I'm just here
Hey.
to chat about
Hello.
the, whatchamacallit, the explosive report. So, I've been speaking with a few other TMs about it, and I mean, it's looking good. I can't think of any overwhelming errors. The only thing I'm going to really do as a major update probably going to be so I should probably clarify the HEI section of the report.
Yeah.
Precisely about the test conditions, because that's something that I probably should mention. It's specifically targeting fuel tanks, for one, because it was testing HEI and fuel tanks, of course.
Optic, wait a second. I don't know. It feels like that you are 2 meters away from your microphone or some.
Yeah, I was wondering if that was just
Yeah.
me.
Oh,
That
I'll
is
turn
just-
them up.
I can be closer like this, but I don't recommend it.
It was better, but I don't,
It was better and worse at the same time.
Yeah, you may want to just set me to 200%.
Yeah, just
It's
having.
well,
630, so I'm trying to.
There's another
avoid
bloody
being too
small
loud.
boat, Joram. Help!
Yeah, I'm on a murder mission.
Anyways, the test conditions are essentially just they took a gun and they shot it at a test plate
Yeah.
with 2 secondary fiberglass plates and then a fuel cell. And they tested under 2 separate conditions. One would be what they call the B2 target, and that is, from what I can tell, just direct shots at an oblique plate, 60-degree oblique. And the other type of test was the same idea, but at it's called misdistance targeting. So they have the plate actually offset, and the point of aim offset by a little bit. So it's not, even if the shot penetrates that plate, there's empty space behind it. And the
Yeah.
fuel cell is next to the entire thing, and the idea being, since it's explosive incendiary, high explosive incendiary specifically, right, HE, not LE, that it should create a splash effect and send shrapnel around, and that shrapnel will potentially have an effect on the fuel tank. Those 2 conditions are noted in the test firings, and the sort of big caveat with this test is that there's a very minimal amount, like the sample size isn't exactly amazing, as you've seen. But I'm going to sort of omit that and rely upon the test data being sort of significant enough of a factor, so to speak. This would be called the incendiary effectiveness of HAI filler test conditions. Yeah, okay. And I'm just going to put that in the report above the 0% IM. Yeah.
BTD's
basically-
elevator doesn't work, and it's annoying.
VTD has compression issues, if I remember correctly.
The BTD is completely ineffective in a dive.
Yes, correct. You need to manually push in the air brake and hope for the best. It compresses real bad, meaning that you have very easy tendency to death dive.
Yeah, I mean, I managed to avoid scraping my fuselage along the surface of the ocean, and of course, I'm spawning into another salvo of long lances.
Crappa. But yeah, if you have the time, take a look at the update. There's a test condition sort of image to look at as well.
Yeah.
Now I just added that, and this should give you a bit more context about the test data, because B2 is the first one, direct strikes, and then MD is the missed distance tests. And it sort of shows how it. I should probably. Some instances of medium to large size holes occurring away from the fuel cell during the MD test. However, in most cases, smaller holes were generated.
Yes, apologies. We're being spawn camped by a Huga, a North Dakota, and a Helgoland.
Bang.
Gotta kill this Leipzig.
And have been getting spawn camped by them for the past 10 minutes.
That's fine. I'm just gonna.
I guess up all these, testing
Description of
is made
material. 20
mainly
millimeter
about
batteries, fuel cells. Procedure was just
Right, so west
firing
following to
under
Helgoland.
range of ambient temperatures, range varies.
But I guess this report is mainly for tanks, right?
No,
Planes.
it's for aircraft.
Oh,
2 Mach phase.
never mind.
0.040 inches dural first plate. 0.25 inches or 0.25 inches dural. Okay, I want to know what the distances are, because I actually never really looked into that. Probably should have.
How much do you
Is it
think?
distance between the gun and the plate? Is it the distance between the plate and the fuel cell? What is exactly?
Yeah.
Cells were never greater than. The functioning plate was usually at a 60-degree obliquity from distances between the functioning plate and the target fuel cell were never greater than 96 inches along the trajectory of the projectile. For missed distance phase, groups of 3 rounds were fired into to determine a lateral distance between the point of impact and the side of the fuel cell, at which no fires occurred. These distances traveled. These distances range from 6 to 27 inches. At the conclusion of the firing, surplus aviation-grade gasoline was drained from the target fuel cell and used to fill the target cells for subsequent firing. Gasoline fires were rapidly extinguished by use of foam and CO2 delivered from firefighting trucks. Cool. So that's the oh, and they even have a sample of the HEI projectiles. And what we need to know here is the M97.
How difficult do you think it'd be to get a report to make VT shells have no tracers?
That'd be a gameplay thing, they won't do it.
Well, they could. I could always suggest to them this is a gameplay benefit and it adds a bit more depth of play and yada yada yada.
But CAS is handheld.
Well, this is also buffed against CAS in my opinion, because you just set your AI gunners, right? And then the fucking invisible VT will explode in their face before they realize what's happening. So, like, at the core of it, you can't manually aim as easily, but good
Don't
lord,
get
the
me
AI
wrong,
gunners
no.
would be scarier. Like,
Don't get me
Jesus
wrong
Christ.
here. It's not like I wouldn't love it, but yeah, castmates are going to cry like really hard.
I mean,
What else is new?
and
I mean, I literally got revenge cast in a plane earlier.
but the point is that it's going to be a case of like it will have its upsides and downsides, and more importantly, it would probably make people consider bringing more greater variety of shell types, which
Can I
is,
ask,
I think, a good thing.
how petty do you have to be that a plane bombs your German battleship and then you respawn in a 288 and rush the airfield specifically to bomb the plane by the time that it's reloaded? Or
Oh, that's
I
good.
had just touched the floor and I got exploded.
That is dedication, and
And of course the base AA didn't do anything to him.
Well, what
I'm
that
kind
is
of impressed that the
the
person is-
beauty of the player base.
It was.
Yeah, the thing is like the tenacity, because you have to consider timing, right? The person would have to hound you, stalk you from a distance, right?
No, he just charged straight to the airfield from spawn.
Then he's quite lucky then, because I would probably not have landed immediately. So he had
No.
very good timing in the sense that he was fortunate.
Can you shoot this
But-
ship high offshore?
I'm. Let me ask the island to move.
Crap.
No, he seems to have skipped the B point, which is what I was worried about him doing.
Yeah, well, that's good. Well, he's also a bloke with a random string of numbers as a username, so.
Probably Chinese?
Yeah.
Well, not as Chinese as the bot that. Or the battleship, that's the word beginning with B I was looking for.
Mm.
Covered in Chinese flags in the Chinese National People Liberation Army Squadron.
He supports the independence of Taiwan.
If only.
Why did they do no MD tests for the 3070? I don't even. Whatever.
Where in the hell is this Kirov that has apparently just set me on fire? Oh, it doesn't matter where it is, because a Kirov just has to put a shell in me and I'm on fire. Ignoring the Nordak, that is.
Oh, there he
looking at
is.
me. Oh, is he that one?
So I feel like that HE shell fire chance is like extremely high for what it is.
Every salvo from a Kirov.
From the fuel in the fuel cell. Quantity
You'd
of
think
fires
if,
continuously increase.
Put this much
A
filler in a
medium-sized
ship,
hole in the fuel tank was noted to have occurred away from
and everyone would do it.
27 inches away from the fuel cell from the fuel
Well, British shells have more
cell.
filler than American shells.
Yeah, but it pales in comparison to Russian nonsense. Isn't it?
B2 target. That's right.
There's a North Dakota coming around that corner. You might want to make yourself look.
Oh, I'm
crazy.
ignoring that on the hope that it
Okay.
ignores me, but it's a bit late because it's already hit me.
Okay.
On the other hand, I've already lost my rear magazine,
There's a
so
Westfalen there. Oh god, the battleships are pushing in.
yeah, the
realised
battleships
what's
are pushing in because they know we're all dead.
See the sort of rate of fire.
That's a little bit sad.
We have 3.
Kirov is here though.
Trick, we're the only 2 ships on our team.
Oh,
We have 4 blokes in planes and 2 bots. I'm sinking. Fair and balanced gameplay. Watch me lose 20 grand this match.
I wish balance was achieved by balanced teams instead of imbalanced teams. And yeah.
I didn't want to pay the repair cost on my P-47, so I took the fighter option. So I am in an ordnance-less F4U of some description. 4.
Has it got 50 cals or 20 mils?
50s. F4U4. But it's half the repair cost of my jug, so that's something.
Hmm.
It's also absolutely useless. I mean, not that I see the P-47's chances against a battleship being very good, but... Is it an enemy plane? Somebody has the War Thunder forum open.
Oh, I do.
Just any forum. I believe that there's the web devs made that noise available across the platforms that they host for, and War Thunder is one of many.
it's a terrible platform, the War Thunder forum.
It's quite a common forum, actually.
I know it's terrible. I hate it.
Unfortunately, yeah, too much to the chagrin of the War Thunder staff, in fact, and the developers.
I just like bulletin board system forums. They're great.
It would be nice, but yeah, it's the system they started with, and that's just therefore the system we're stuck with.
Well,
and there have
no
been
one
multiple
died.
requests to the developed web devs to
No,
how should I
we're
describe
so
it?
close.
Update the formatting, because one thing that's incredibly frustrating about especially bug reports is that
just
players don't follow formatting whatsoever. So like
Didn't they say they were
we
making like a
have-
form
Well, it's impossible apparently. So what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to follow, just copy paste what we ask you to copy paste in the top before when you start a bug report.
Yep.
And then like 80% of people don't do that.
How hard is it to have a database input system?
I don't know.
You just fill out a few
It's been-
boxes.
It's been requested for multiple times over the years from both the developers, community managers, and tech mods to the web devs, with the answer being that it's not a feasible option, essentially.
Other than transferring the forum to some other new whatever.
Those
That would be probably a nightmare in its own right at this point. Like if they did that back in 2012, maybe that'd be a viable
Yeah,
option.
it would be a forum wipe, which is a bit of a pain.
Just
Yeah.
close the whole thing
I'm
and
still
start
recording.